city received citation for not fluoridating water. And it goes on. The city of Watsonville has been cited by the California Department of Public Health for failure to comply with an order by the state to fluoridate the water supply. The citation was received by the city Thursday and demands written assurance from the city by August 29th that it will comply and plan and schedule a fluoridation submitted by September 19th. City Council Al Smith said the citation appeared to be out of the clear blue. We've been in communication with the Department of Health, he said. I was surprised, but this is it. Fluoridation has been an issue since the City Council first passed a resolution accepting a grant for fluoride in 2002. Fluoridation 2010 work group offered the city $946,000 to fluoridate because the government cares so much about you. But in November of last year, Watsonville residents concerned about the safety of fluoride passed Measure S, banning all substances from the water not specifically approved by the Food and Drug Administration, which includes fluoride. And you now have the majority of FDA and EPA scientists going to Congress and saying sodium fluoride causes cancer and is deadly and reduces fertility. 1 part per million can cause up to a 20%, on average it's about 15, IQ reduction. People aren't, the U.S. IQ is now the lowest in the world. Not our test scores, not our laziness, not our decadence. We're lazy and decadent for a reason. For 60 years, almost every major city, over 70% of the nation now drinks fluoridated water. It passed that number a few years ago. You are lethargic and dumbed down and can't focus and have reduced fertility, and cancer rates are off the charts for a lot of reasons. But the biggest one is fluoridation of water, fluoridation of food. Most processed foods have it added. They now, for 5 years, have been spraying it on crops as a pesticide. It goes through the cell walls and bioaccumulates in the crops. This is all admitted. We are being dosed with massive amounts of it. The toothpaste. I was driving in this morning, but my iPhone camera is fogged up and screwed up. I guess I got to go take it in. I couldn't take a photo of a Sparklets truck. It had a big pink sign on the back saying fluoride water for babies. It's even worse for babies statistically, the amount of brain damage it causes. And they're cold-bloodedly doing this right out in the open. Yeah, they're CDC. Community water fluoridation stats now reaches nearly 70% of U.S. population. And when did that come out? Because the numbers I saw 2 years ago was it had already passed 70%. Okay, this year, so it's just now hitting 70. The report I saw was over 70, but thanks for pulling it up, guys. The issue here is they're racing to get the entire country and entire world fluoridated. I've seen cases where $5 million was spent in a small town in Kansas, if I remember correctly, just to get them to fluoridate over a decade. They spent millions to get San Antonio to fluoridate a few years ago. The citizens knew what was going on down there, okay? And now California comes in and says, we're going to criminally come after your city. We're going to cite you if you don't do this. Since when do they get to forcibly medicate us? And now they say, hey, we want to put statins in the water and we want to put lithium in the water, both toxic. Now they're talking about making kids in public school take statins every week to help their cholesterol. They are force drugging us, and they are setting the precedent to do this. And they know we're waking people up, so they're striking back. Again, here's the Mail yesterday. Fury in China as female babies grow breast after drinking milk laced with hormones. Now, here they spin it and go, oh, it's 7 and 8 year olds by the hundreds of thousands going into puberty when you're supposed to go in at 12 to 14. No, no, no. Tens of thousands in the U.S., babies are growing breast. 3-year-olds are menstruating. 3-year-old girls. And then it burns them out. It accelerates their aging, and they get massive increases in breast cancer. That's all admitted. Do they take bisphenol A out of most of the plastic products in food? No, they don't. Do you know when you microwave something in a bisphenol A tray, it massively off-gasses it into your food? Years ago, I'd be eating plastic stuff that I'd microwaved. It could taste the poison. You wonder why you're obese? Americans were eating more fattening foods 30 years ago, the statistics show. But we're fatter and more unhealthy today because of the hormones, the bisphenol A, the sodium fluoride attacks the thyroid. Ladies and gentlemen, it's epidemic amongst women. Every time I'm sitting in a restaurant or go to church with my parents or just constantly, all I hear women talking about is, yeah, I'm 25 years old, and the doctor says I've got an 80-year-old thyroid, and no matter, but he's giving me hormones to help. Fluoride savages your thyroid, women. Bisphenol A savages your thyroid. Honey, you're not supposed to be fat on the small diet you're eating. You're not supposed to have your hair falling out at 25, honey. Most of the women I know above the age of 35 are having their hair start to fall out. It's epidemic. It's epidemic. And do the doctors say don't eat bisphenol A? Don't eat stuff and drink liquids out of bisphenol A that lines all the cans, most of the bottles? Do they tell you when you microwave it? But, it hyperfeminizes and then accelerates the aging of women. Men, it makes us effeminate, and it makes us passive and reduces our fertility. Testicular cancer, off the charts. Prostate cancer, off the charts. These are the hormonal glands that are being bombarded with this stuff. So, the government says they're worried about techno music and they need to ban it. But they're not worried about fluoride. In fact, they want to make you drink it and other chemicals and bisphenol A. And at least in China, they get mad at 1-year-olds growing breast, 3-year-olds having periods. Not here. Go to the doctor. Hey, my 3-year-old's having a period. We'll give her some hormones to block that and screw her all up. Thanks, Doc. Thanks a lot. My daughter's going to die of cancer in a few years. Thank you. Thank you for murdering her.
Attention. This is a special alert to all Americans who owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from people who owe back taxes and dramatically lowering amounts owed. Due to the financial crisis in America, the IRS has announced a leniency plan in recognition of consumers' financial troubles in today's economy. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS, an open phone line has been established by American Tax Settlement for you to call and see if you qualify for a reduction by up to 75%. Number to call is 800-902-6969. Again, the IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from consumers who owe back taxes in response to the decline in today's economy. If you are struggling with $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS, you now may be eligible for a dramatic reduction by up to 75% and save thousands of dollars. For free information and to see if you qualify, call the open phone line into American Tax Settlement now. 800-902-6969. 800-902-6969. Again, 800-902-6969.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me. Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films.
Remain in your houses. The President of the United States has declared martial law under Executive Order 11,004.
Will they do it? Will they pull the trigger this time? We all pray they stand down, but an engineered crisis seems more likely with each passing day. Think it can't happen here? Executive Order 10990 locks down all highways. Executive Order 10995 seizes control of all media outlets. Executive Order 10998 controls all farms and food supplies. All these executive orders are now cocked, loaded, and waiting for the right crisis. So if you're worried about the possibility of martial law here in America or have questions about how to survive it, go to martiallawsurvival.com. That's martiallawsurvival.com. Go to martiallawsurvival.com right now.
You must remain in your houses until your bracelets are scanned.
Well, you know, I've gone into a rant here, ladies and gentlemen. I know we've got Mark, Issa, Scotty, and others that are patiently holding. We'll get to you with Catherine Austin Fish. You can speak about any issue. You know, we'll just get her on at 8 after. I'm going to start taking their calls for that little short segment, and then once we get her on, I'll take calls as well. Oh, she's at 1 o'clock. Well, good. I'll take their calls coming up next hour. I'm sorry, I didn't look at my list correctly. By the way, I went to Target this weekend with my wife to buy some pots and pans. And we noticed that almost all of the Tupperware is now glass because people are now aware of the fact that bisphenol A is deadly. So your purchases are making them convert almost completely over to glass. If you start demanding that from other manufacturers, we can beat this together with our purchases. But here's an example. I've asked the folks here to buy paper cups for coffee, and they usually have it. But I'm so weak-minded that when they do buy bisphenol A laced cups, and I pour hot coffee into it and it leaches, I still come in and drink the poison like Romans lining their wine jugs with lead. I bought a vitamin water that's got bisphenol A reportedly in the plastic and drank it when I was getting gas this morning because I was thirsty. I'm weak-minded. None of us are perfect. This stuff is laid everywhere for us. But at least keep your children away from this stuff, okay? I'm not perfect. People say, well, why did you just admit you're drinking out of bisphenol A, you idiot? I'm pointing out how I can't stay conscious of this. But you know what? For my children, for when they go to school, they're homeschooled, but they go to an academy that's 2 days a week for homeschoolers. We have glassware for them. At least I'm doing that. There's no plastic that my children drink out of. Those little paper juice boxes lined with bisphenol A. You've got to do it, or it's going to screw up your sons and screw up your daughters. So at least I'm doing that for my children, and I'm trying to train myself to not ever eat fast food, to not ever eat processed foods, to not drink out of these poisons. And I've got a bunch of other news on this subject we're going to cover, but we're going to get to your calls first. Believe me, I haven't even gotten into the economic news yet. I haven't gotten into this incredible news where entire high schools are now enrolling everyone by law in the junior ROTC and then threatening them to sign papers and tricking them to join the military. So it's a new form of draft. They're also going to mount microwave guns in prisons and jails. It's illegal to use these in war, but they're going to use them against citizens. That's coming up after we take your phone calls. But before I go any further, I want to tell you about Inner Health Botanicals. Wonderful folks. They've got their main product, the Inner Food, with 20 superfoods where you absorb it all instead of like vitamins where you pass most of it. Amazing systems. Innerfood.com, the best green food superfood out there. ENERfood.com or 866-762-9238. 866-762-9238. They've got healthy coffees infused with rainforest polysaccharides. They've got a bunch of other great products and discounts when you go to their website and type in Alex Jones. You can also give them a call, 866-762-9238, 866-762-9238, Innerfood.com. That's ENERfood.com. And finally, made in the good old U.S. of A., diamond gusset shirts, jeans, regular jeans, motorcycle jeans, 8888-GUSSET, 8888-GUSSET. That's 8888-GUSSET. Gusset spelled G-U-S-S-E-T, GussetClothing.com. GussetClothing.com. And they're all made in America, and they don't split on you, and they're triple sewed, and they're super comfortable, and I've got pairs of them I wear. Aaron just loves them. He's gotten rid of all of his crummy Levi's made in Mexico. They sew a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets, got it. Others don't. GussetClothing.com or 888-8-GUSSET. And don't forget, Innerfood.com. We'll be right back with the second hour of your calls and a blitzkrieg of news.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com.